you start off making a rather a strong statement saying that therapy works incredibly well, but fewer people are going. So both parts of that sentence contain important assertions in such a short sentence. So first, what is some of the evidence that therapy works incredibly well?
Well, I'm glad to say that we now have decades really of meta-analytic evidence that most people who go to therapy experience positive change as a result. The effect size from psychotherapy is pretty powerful, actually much more powerful than a number of other well-accepted medical interventions. One of the examples I use in the book is aspirin for reducing heart attack.
Yeah.
Well-accepted medical intervention, actually very small effect size. Now, powerful enough to be worth it and to be cost effective, but the effect size of psychotherapy is much, much larger. And so we know from study after study after study over many, many years that therapy works. If you look at cost effectiveness, therapy has what's called an offset effect, where the amount of money that an insurer, for example, spends on psychotherapy, they're going to more than recoup in somebody being healthier after they've gone to therapy. So there's a bunch of different ways to measure this, but the short version is ultimately psychotherapy is really powerful. There's no room left to debate that at this point. There are so many different ways.
Do you think the general public has gotten that message?
No, I think there is an awful lot of misconceptions still in the general public about what it is that therapists do and how effective we are. And I do talk in the book about there's some reasons for that. I mean, there's some reasons for those misconceptions that we have some responsibility for.
Yeah, we'll be getting into that.
That message is not universal.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the second part of that sentence, because I was not aware that fewer people are going to therapy. Here in Sonoma County, where I live, it seems like you can't throw a rock without hitting a therapist of one stripe or another.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think that this local area might be oversaturated with therapists. But I'm also aware that many young therapists may not have as many clients as they would like. And sometimes I've joked that therapists, that their practice consists of seeing other therapists. There are some issues, but you report that, that fewer people are seeking therapy. And since reading your book, actually, I saw something, the current APA monitor, that would seem to substantiate that as well. But tell us a little bit more about that, because in a way it's shocking.
It is surprising. I mean, we'd sort of expect, with all the improvements in access to mental health care that have taken place over the past 15 to 20 years, parity laws and technology and so forth, that more people would be taking advantage of their newfound access to mental health care. But they're not. The